This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, organisers of the Otago Rally are looking forward to the event getting underway Friday evening. A Wanaka couple say their goat mohair clothing range has been inspired by the central Otago region. And a stately house just out of Mosgiel has had a huge makeover, including the addition of a lavish conservatory. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. This weekend's Otago Rally is set to get underway in Dunedin this Friday night, with the traditional launch from the Octagon. The rally was cancelled last year as it fell during the nationwide COVID-19 lockdown.
Drivers and organisers glad to be putting the hammer down this year.
Oh yeah, we've been hanging out for this for a long time. It was pretty disappointing to have to cancel last minute last year.
Rally Otago spokesperson Roger Oakley says while it was disappointing to have to cancel last year's event due to the pandemic, he says there was a silver lining amongst the clouds.
We've been preparing for this for 2 years now, but the preparations are going really well. We got a bit of a head start because we had an event ready to go, but cancelled. But we've changed it and updated it a bit, so it's always frantic at the last minute. As
with past events, Otago Rally organisers attract a couple of drawcard drivers. This year, WRC driver Hayden Padden returns to the rally, along with another motor racing legend, who's more familiar with racing on two wheels.
It's been a while since I've obviously been here, 2 years, so I think we're all chomping at the bit to get back out and, one of my favourite events in the world, so yeah, can't wait.
This is just out of the norm. Like I've done a little bit of car driving, or a fair bit of car driving, but on the tar seal it's very, very different. You know, this you're always saving the car. Like you turn the car and it reacts differently every time. And on the track, it's that corner does this, but here the corners just they're changing all the time, and you don't know where you're going. So pace noting, I've been learning pace notes as well. So yeah, no, it's a really tricky thing, but I'm really enjoying it. It's cool.
As well as his trusty, albeit rebuilt following a mishap, Hyundai, Hayden Padden says they're also showing off an electric rally car.
But we've got the EV car here as well, which we launched late last year. We're in a development phase with that, and we're looking forward to getting out and doing a couple of demonstrations with that car. Obviously the main one at the super special stage in Dunedin on Saturday afternoon, and do a couple of laps around there and show people what it's like up close and personal.
The Otago Rally runs from April 16 to 18, with 114 entries set to start the 2021 edition of the rally, including a record number of Kiwi crews and one of the biggest fields ever in a New Zealand rally. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Demolition work has been halted at the site of a former Dunedin bookshop because of issues with the building's heritage status. Dunedin City staff have contacted the demolition company, which has agreed to stop work until the issue is resolved. The issue is around permission to demolish a pre-1900 building, as well as the possible breach of rules about disturbing archaeology. The developer is planning to create another commercial premises, plus 10 accommodation units and parking. Mountain views and crisp cool winters are the inspiration for a new range of natural mohair products, designed by a couple in Wanaka. Their cottage industry sees them designing items such as socks and scarves, which are then manufactured by other family members living in South Africa.
A Wanaka couple have designed a range of natural mohair products inspired by the local scenery. The Glamorous Goat, created by Stephen and Hayley Hobson, is a small business offering throws and socks. Mr. Hobson's family had been farming goats since 1857.
I'm from an Angora goat farming background. So my dad and his 3 brothers grew up on the farm, born in South Africa, in Cape Town. I did my chartered accounting qualification in South Africa, in Cape Town, and then my 2005 I moved over to London. I met my future wife, who's from Auckland, Kiwi. The Glamorous Goat came around, we launched it actually on the weekend of the AMP show last year, which was basically the week before we went into COVID lockdown. So we had a stand at the AMP show. and that was basically when the website went live. So it has been a bit slow, like, you know, during the COVID period with the uncertainty, with you know, not like people not wanting to spend money at that stage.
The mohair throws have names reflecting the local environment, including Cromwell Cherry, Aspiring Forest, Mount Iron and Roy's Blue.
You know, the benefits are, like New Zealand during winter, anyone can, you know, a throw would fit in anyone's house, you know, from a design aspect and then obviously from a warmth aspect.
In Wanaka for the South Today.
Convicted murderer Bernard Scanther has died in the Otago Corrections Facility. The prisoner was serving a 19-year non-parole sentence for the murder of Amber Rose Rush in 2018. The Otago Corrections Facility confirms an inmate died late yesterday. Yesterday he learned his appeal against convictions for murder and threatening to kill a witness had been dismissed. Hidden behind stately trees on a road just outside Mosgiel is a stately old home which has been entirely renovated. Improvements to the home have included the addition of an atrium, taking up the footprint of a medium-sized family home.
This 110-year-old heritage house on Bush Road near Mosgiel has been transformed by its owners into a home that provides modern, practical living. Owner Andrew Sims says the extensive grounds with Old English trees planted at the beginning of last century clinched his decision to purchase the residence back in 2004 at a price tag of more than $2 million.
There are a lot of magnificent old houses in Dunedin, but we were very, very attracted by the grounds and the trees. They're the sort of trees that you could never plant yourself and enjoy. You have to rely on previous generations to have done that, and we're thrilled to be here.
Renovations to the house didn't begin until 2018 and have included the addition of this huge 120 square metre indoor living area with extensive skylights.
We just completed a significant extension with the building of a atrium conservatory area, which provides us with the modern living that we need in an old house. These old houses are fabulous, but a lot of them don't work that well in terms of modern living.
Sims' partner Claire Wilton says it was important for her the house would allow their 2 children to grow up with happy memories.
I remember asking Charlie when he was 3, "What do you want from your bedroom, mate?" And he said, "Mum, I want a blue room with animals." And he was just so thrilled. He walked in and he started crying when he first saw his bedroom. And that was just such a thrill for me. And to see Harper in her beautiful woodland bedroom, it is just so magical.
The couple say the money spent on renovations and extensions were not done with resale value in mind. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we check in with the notorious student party's preparations, and we have an episode of Global Insight with Professor Robert Padden. So see you after the break.
Risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. polo shirts, short sleeve shirts. There's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear. Go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Welcome back. The annual Boozy Costume Party, which elevates Hyde Street to among Dunedin's most notorious venues, remains an eagerly anticipated event by its student residents. Hundreds of the usually coveted entry lottery tickets for the party this coming Saturday reportedly went unclaimed initially, but have since been snapped up by eager party goers. A capacity crowd of 3,600 people is expected. The Otago University Students' Association has asked some flats to change their themes because of racist references, including gypsies. The next piece in Otago's ever-increasing trail network is set to open next month. The Lake Dunstan Cycle and Walking Trail will officially open on the second weekend of May. The project was originally planned to be finished by the end of last year. But lockdown and additional rock face work on the last 100 metres stretch delayed the trail's completion. The trail takes riders through scenery which is otherwise inaccessible, past historic sites and over-engineered structures built specifically for it. In today's Global Insight, Professor Robert Padden says the threat of China invading Taiwan is real, but the cost to China would be substantial. The international affairs commentator also says New Zealand is caught in a difficult position because of its strong relationship with both China and Taiwan.
China is acting in an increasingly aggressive manner towards Taiwan. New Zealand has a good relationship with both China and Taiwan. Will it all end in tears? Welcome, Robert.
Morning, Bruce.
How real is China's threat to take back Taiwan?
Oh, I think it's a very real threat because China, since it emerged after the Chinese Civil War back in the late 40s and Communist China won the Civil War, most of the nationalists fled to Taiwan. And so Taiwan is seen as a breakaway province of China, and the Chinese authorities run what they call the One China policy.
How is New Zealand going to navigate this? If it has a good relationship with both, what's it going to do?
Well, it's not just New Zealand. A number of countries are in a tricky position. New Zealand has actually, although it does not have diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but it has an extremely close relationship. And what I mean by that is Taiwan is the sixth biggest export market for New Zealand, and there's a lot of trade that comes from Taiwan to New Zealand. Also, there's quite a big Taiwanese community in Auckland, which have migrated from Taiwan since the 1990s. And the trajectory in trade patterns has been upwards. So yes, I mean the relationship with Taiwan is good. I think New Zealand is trying to pursue a nuanced policy. And at times it does irritate the Chinese how warm the relationship is between New Zealand and Taiwan. For example, in May last year, when New Zealand backed Taiwan's admission as an observer, WHO conference, China publicly expressed its opposition.
So what will happen? It looks like a clash. Will there be a war in the Pacific?
It's possible. I think before Xi Jinping came to power, 2035 was seen as the crunch time. But since Xi Jinping has been in power, I think strategic planners in Washington have moved the timetable forward. And in fact, Xi Jinping himself has moved forward the timetable for modernizing Chinese military forces on a global basis. And what we've seen in just the last week, for example, a record number of incursions into Taiwan's airspace by around about 25 Chinese military aircraft, which is a source of concern. But you know, China, in a sense, although it believes in the one China policy, I'm not sure how far it wants to pursue that. China is aware that it is critically dependent on external markets. And let's just think about this. If China launched an invasion of Taiwan, it could well bring the United States in, because under the arrangements it's had over with Taiwanese leaderships historically, the United States would be obliged to defend Taiwan. So, you know, a lot of people are presenting this as you know, an invasion and an easy job. I don't think it is. It's not easy diplomatically, and strategically it could be difficult because Taiwan has a sophisticated and well-equipped military capability. Now, no one's suggesting they could stand up to a superpower with more than 1 billion population. So I think if they did invade Taiwan, I think we'd all know the outcome. But I think the cost for China could be substantial.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Catch us next time on Global Insight. Ka kite anō.
And you can watch the full interview with Professor Padden online at odt.co.nz. Still to come on the South today, we catch up with the local soccer scene ahead of this weekend's competitions, and we take a look at your weather, so see you after the break.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. Polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, there's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear, go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Be sure to tune into Football Chat every week, where we chat about local football fixtures, results and everything else that's happening in the local game.
Thanks for staying with us. In this edition of Football Chat, host Morgan Jarvis chats with soccer players from teams based in the Southern Lakes region.
Kia ora and welcome to Football Chat this week, where we chat about the local men's and women's premiership football competitions. A few weeks into it now. Had some really good matches over the weekend. I'm joined by guests today, Rose Morden from Dunedin Tech and Fletcher Kevner from Wanaka. Thanks for coming in. Brilliant again to have someone from the Wanaka side coming in there. And Rose, well, Dunedin Tech just keep racking up the results, although it was a bit of a tight one in the weekend up in Queenstown there, only 1-0.
Yeah, away trips are always tough, I think, for any team really. And we're used to, anyone knows Dunedin Tech, we love a big pitch. So up in Queenstown we've got a small pitch, and what they do is they set a really high line, which is really tactical from them, and we can't really do much. And to give them credit, they had an amazing game, which is really cool.
Yeah, great. And I mean, there must be an element of actually quite enjoying a good tense match like that when full time rolls around. Must be a good feeling.
It's always a lot more rewarding knowing you've worked a lot harder for the result you got, and it's always good having a tight match, because recently we have had quite rollover games. We haven't really done as much as we could have, but we still are winning enough. But this game, I think we really worked really hard, and 1-0 result, people will look at that and go, ooh, don't know about Tech this week, but we did play really well, and to give Queenstown a lot of credit, they did a really, really good job.
Brilliant. And Fletcher, you had a loss against Green Island, and we were just chatting earlier about the incredibly tough fixture list that Wanaka have had. You've had to face Mosgiel, South City Royals, Uni and GI in the first 4 weeks of the season, and you've actually had a couple of pretty notable sort of results with draws in there, but you'll be hanging out for some fixtures over the next few weeks that you hope you can get some more points from.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have played well, especially at home when we have our full batch of players. We always find it tough every year to travel. It's always hard, with people with commitments with work and families and stuff. But no, I feel like we're beyond the downslope, and we're picking up form, and we should be getting into it this weekend against Queenstown.
That wraps up Football Chat for this week. Big thanks to Rose and Fletcher for coming in, and make sure you check out the Family Fun Day down at Forsyth Bar this weekend. Check that out on the Football South Facebook page, and we'll see you next week.
And you can watch the full interview online at odt.co.nz. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Organisers of the Otago Rally are looking forward to the event getting underway this Friday evening. A Wanaka couple say their goat mohair clothing range has been inspired by the Central Otago region. And a stately house just out of Mosgiel has had a huge makeover, including the addition of a lavish conservatory. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us?
Good evening. We've got more on the shock death of convicted murderer Leonard Scanther yesterday, suspected suicide, and of course coming the same day that he learned his appeal against his conviction for murdering that Dunedin teen, Amber Rose Rush, was rejected. The death raised concerns from Otago Corrections facilities about the lack of communication from courts over such matters. We understand corrections weren't told that Scanther had failed in his bid with his appeal, and normal procedure in that is if inmates receive information that could affect their well-being, then they offer them support, and they sit them down for an interview to see what support they can offer them. So that appears not to have happened. So there are lots of concerns, also from the Prison Officers Union as well. They've got some issues with the matter. Lots of investigations going on at the moment with the coroner and the corrections as well. So there are lots more to come out of that. We also talked to Amber Rose's family, and they say they feel for Scantha's family. Of course, they've lost a son. But disappointing that he won't get to serve his sentence. But again, on the other side, they can now get on with their lives as well. So yeah, really, really horrible time, I guess, for everyone involved there at the moment.
Yeah, it's not a very nice situation for anyone.
Concerns from the Dunedin RSA Choir. They've got their big day out on Anzac Day for their annual review, the Anzac Day review, but they've been turfed out of the hall they've been using for the last 25 years for practice. A week out, they've been using the Caversham Presbyterian Hall for almost 25 years now, but changed there, and they've decided they want the hall for other things the church does, so they've asked them to go, really, so they're out on their ears. A bit disappointed about that, unfortunately.
1 week out.
I know,
really?
it is a bit strange. And just a big sports day tomorrow as well with their lift out, lots of club rugby around the region, and the Highlanders as well. They've got the Blues tomorrow night, so we have a look at that game. Talked to co-captain Aaron Smith, wants some consistency out of his team. They outstanding performance against the Crusaders, not so good last week. So yeah, stadium, there's yet to win there, so hopefully they can this time around.
Well, hopefully they do. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, looking across to the former Cadbury site. Looking at the situation, a strong westerly airflow over southern districts will tend to cooler southwesterly on Saturday and then ease. Travelling to the northwest of the South Island, it's rain and wind for this region, with Greymouth reaching 16 degrees and Westport 17. Across to the north of the island, fine autumn weather with sun and a sprinkle of cloud for Nelson on 21 degrees, and a lovely sunny day for Blenheim with 22 degrees. Moving to Canterbury, it's a mixed bag of weather for the Canterbury region. Kaikoura reaches 19 degrees with sun and moderate winds, Christchurch 21 with scattered showers and moderate winds, and Ashburton has rain, wind and 18 degrees. Moving to the southern towns, fresh southwesterlies and showers across this region. Balclutha and the Catlins reach 15 degrees, Lumsden and Gore slightly lower on 14 degrees. And it's similar in central Otago, moderate southwesterlies with some cloud for most across this area. Wanaka and Alexandra are due for 17 degrees, Queenstown reaches 18 degrees, and Tiana will see fresh southwesterlies, showers and 14 degrees. To the northern towns, on the coast you're in for a southwesterly change with showers later in the day. Timaru and Oamaru reach 19 degrees. Heading further inland, expect moderate southwesterlies with some cloud and 17 degrees for both Twizel and Amarama. In Dunedin, fine tonight with an overnight low of 11. Mild northwesterlies at first tomorrow with high cloud, but a period of showers and fresh, gusty, cold southwesterlies in the afternoon. Clearing weather tomorrow evening, a high of 18 and a low of 7. And it's fine and sunny on Saturday with moderate westerlies. You're looking at a high of 15 and a low of 5. And in Invercargill, showers developing tonight with an overnight low of 12. Cloudy with showers tomorrow with strong cool westerlies, a high of 14 and a low of 9. Showers clearing during the day on Saturday and fresh cold southwesterlies decreasing, a high of 13 and a low of 5. That's all from the South Today team for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.